You know, one of the most fascinating things about human behavior is how quickly we become accustomed to things, especially attention. When you're consistently texting a guy, calling him, reaching out, checking in, he begins to expect it. Not consciously necessarily, but on a subconscious level, it becomes part of his routine. Your name popping up on his phone becomes normal. That little hit of dopamine he gets when he sees your message, it becomes familiar. He doesn't question where the connection is coming from, he just knows it's there. You're there, present, available, and then, suddenly you're not. When you stop texting and calling, a man's first reaction isn't always what you think. Some people assume that silence is met with indifference, that if he doesn't immediately come running, it means he didn't care, but in reality, what happens first is confusion. He feels a shift in the rhythm. It's like a song that suddenly drops the beat. You notice the change before you even understand what's changed. At first, he might assume you're just busy. He tells himself she's probably tied up with work, or maybe her phone died. He gives it a day, maybe two. No big deal, because again, he's used to you reaching out. He assumes the pattern will resume, that you'll reappear and pick up where things left off. But as more time passes, something starts to happen. The silence gets louder. Your absence becomes noticeable, not just in his day-to-day routine, but in his thoughts. And what's interesting is that this usually occurs just when you might be doubting yourself. Maybe you're wondering if he even noticed that you've pulled back. Maybe you're tempted to send that message just to see if he still cares. But here's the truth, in that very moment, he's starting to feel the distance too. And that distance creates curiosity. He starts to wonder what's changed, why you've gone quiet. Did he do something wrong? Are you losing interest? Are you seeing someone else? His mind begins spinning because suddenly he doesn't have the certainty he once did. You've disrupted the emotional pattern, the comfort zone he was operating from, and that disruption is powerful. It forces him to pay attention. See, the absence of communication creates a gap. And the bigger that gap gets, the more he starts to fill it with his own thoughts and assumptions. He replays your last conversations, wondering if he missed a signal. He notices your social media activity with fresh eyes, trying to decode your silence. In some cases, he might test the waters. Maybe he sends a quick text just to see if you respond. He's not always going to be direct about it. Sometimes it's subtle, a reaction to your story, a vague "hey" out of nowhere. What he's really doing is checking to see if he still has access. Now, depending on the kind of man he is, how secure he is, and how much he values the connection you had, his reaction will evolve differently. But in this first phase, this confusion and curiosity, it's essential. It's the moment where he starts to realize that your energy wasn't just nice to have, it actually meant something. And here's what most people don't realize. When you constantly give your attention to someone, they don't have the space to consider how much they'd miss it if it were gone. When you're always the one keeping the connection alive, they never have to do the work of reaching out, of wondering, of investing. But when you stop, not out of manipulation, not out of spite, but simply because you've chosen to focus on your life, your peace, and your self-worth, that's when you really find out what he's made of. A man who truly values you won't let that silence linger too long. He'll start to feel the emotional impact of your absence. He'll realize that the connection wasn't something he could take for granted. And in that moment of confusion, in that gap between what was and what now, that's where the power of your absence speaks louder than any text or call ever could. And make no mistake, silence, when used from a place of strength and clarity, is not passive. It's incredibly active. It creates space for clarity, space for truth, space for you to stop wondering and start observing. Because the way a man reacts to your silence will tell you everything you need to know. Now here's where it gets really interesting. After that initial confusion settles in, after he's noticed you're not texting, not calling, not initiating anything, the next phase begins, and this one taps directly into his ego. See, when someone has been used to a certain level of attention, of availability, of emotional presence, the moment it's gone, it doesn't just feel like silence, it feels like a personal hit. It starts subtly. He might not even register it as ego at first. Maybe it feels like irritation. Maybe he suddenly gets moody or cold or even starts pulling little power plays. Why? Because he's feeling something he hasn't had to feel in a while: discomfort. The comfort of being the one who receives, the one who expects you to show up, gets shaken, and that shake feels a lot like rejection, even if you haven't done anything dramatic or even said a word. You've simply stopped calling, stopped chasing, stopped pouring. What he's really experiencing is a loss of control. Let's not pretend that ego is exclusive to men. We all have one, but for many men, especially those who aren't used to emotionally investing first, attention often equals affirmation. It tells them they're still wanted, still desired, still important. So when that attention is withdrawn, it stings. It makes them question their place in your life, and what makes it worse for them is not knowing why the shift happened. That silence of yours, that sudden lack of effort, it becomes a mirror. It reflects something back at them that they may not have wanted to see, that they were taking you for granted. Now this is when you might start seeing strange behavior. Maybe he posts something online to get your attention. Maybe he goes quiet too, trying to prove he doesn't care. Maybe he even flirts with someone else just to see if you'll react. All of this, ego, not necessarily strategy. Not always maturity, just ego trying to reclaim the upper hand because that ego has been bruised. He's not feeling admired, he's not feeling special, and he doesn't know how to fill the void you left behind. But here's the kicker: this discomfort, this bruised ego, isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's necessary, because only in that disruption can he begin to evaluate how much you meant to him. People only grow when something forces them out of their comfort zone. And often your silence is the very thing that shakes him into emotional awareness. That space you created, that absence he now feels, that's where the emotional impact starts to take root. You see, ego will tell him, she's supposed to text me, she always does. Ego will say, if she's not reaching out, I'm not going to either. But beneath that ego is something deeper, a genuine feeling of loss, a realization that your energy, your presence, your time wasn't guaranteed, that it could go away, that it has gone away, and that realization often creates a shift. Now, not every man is going to rise to the occasion. Some will stay stuck in that ego space, playing it cool, pretending they're unaffected, because vulnerability feels like weakness to them. They'd rather risk losing you than admit they're thrown off, and that's important information for you. But the man who does value you, who's emotionally intelligent enough to recognize what's happening, will push past that ego. He'll move from pride to purpose. He'll stop thinking, why isn't she texting me? And start asking, why did I ever need her to chase me in the first place? Because ego makes it about him, but connection. Connection makes it about both of you. You're not playing games, you're not pulling away to get a reaction, you're simply giving space to see what exists without constant effort from your side. And when that effort disappears, if all he's left with is discomfort and no motivation to step forward, you've learned something powerful. When you stop texting, when you stop calling, you're not just withdrawing communication. You're allowing his ego to confront a simple truth, that he isn't entitled to your attention, he has to earn it. And the man who's capable of real connection, real partnership, will feel that ego flare up, but he won't let it lead. He'll lean into the discomfort and choose to act, not out of pride, but out of care. Because the ones who care don't stay quiet for long, you said, so by now he's felt the shift. He's gone through that initial confusion, wondering what changed. His ego has taken a hit. He's realized that something he was counting on, maybe even assuming would always be there, suddenly isn't. And this is the moment where things start to turn. This is when your absence, instead of just being noticed, starts to create a deeper emotional reaction. Because here's the truth: desire doesn't grow in abundance, it grows in space. When you stop texting and calling, what you're really doing is removing the emotional cushion he's been leaning on. You're no longer showing up to keep the connection alive, and in doing that, you allow something very powerful to happen. He starts to miss you, not in a fleeting, surface-level way, but in a more focused, intentional kind of way. He doesn't just miss the messages or the calls. He starts to miss you, your energy, your tone, the way you made him feel about himself when you were around. That's when desire begins to rebuild. Scarcity has a way of sharpening focus. It forces him to think about what he no longer has immediate access to. He starts to replay old conversations in his mind. He wonders what you're doing, who you're with, and why you're no longer pouring into him the way you once did. And here's what's so fascinating. He doesn't even need to understand all of it rationally. Most of this happens subconsciously. He just knows something doesn't feel right anymore. Something that once fed his confidence, soothed his ego, or made his day a little lighter, has gone quiet. Now this is the part where a man will typically re-engage. And it might not happen the way you expect. Sometimes he'll come in soft, maybe a random "hey, thinking about you." Other times it's more strategic, like liking your posts, reacting to your stories, dropping casual comments to test the waters. It's almost like he's trying to slide back into a space that used to be open to him, just to see if the door is still unlocked. And you'll recognize the tone. It's not always direct. Sometimes it's just enough to remind you that he's still there, but not enough to actually do the work of reconnecting properly. And this is where your strength matters, because the moment you see that curiosity turning into re-engagement, you have a choice. You can respond right away and fall back into old rhythms, or you can pause and observe. You can ask yourself, is this man truly stepping up because he values me, or is he simply reacting to the silence? Is he chasing the loss of control or genuinely realizing what he had? The difference is everything, because some men are just reacting to discomfort. They're not actually ready to build anything meaningful. They just miss the validation you provided. And when that's the case, the moment you give them a little attention back, they slip into old patterns. The calls don't come, the effort fades. It's like they just needed a hit of your energy to reassure themselves they still had you. But the emotionally mature man, he behaves differently. A man who's emotionally grounded and genuinely interested doesn't just react. He takes action. He doesn't play games. He doesn't breadcrumb you. He reaches out with clarity. He asks how you've been. He wants to meet up. He communicates directly, because for him your silence wasn't just uncomfortable. It was a wake-up call. It showed him what life looks like without you in it. And he realizes very quickly that he doesn't want to go back to that. And here's the part most people miss. It's not about creating artificial distance or playing hard to get. It's about giving someone the opportunity to miss you, to recognize your value without you having to constantly remind them of it. It's about letting desire breathe, letting him step up or not. Because when someone truly wants you in their life, they won't just feel the void. They'll do something about it. They'll move through their ego and their confusion, and they'll reach out with intention. And if he doesn't, that tells you just as much, doesn't it? Because silence has a way of revealing who is just enjoying the ride and who's actually willing to drive the car. You said, by the time you get to this stage, enough time has passed that the silence is no longer just about space. It's become a test of character, a filter, and I don't mean that in a manipulative, let's see how he performs a kind of way. I mean it as a natural consequence of choosing not to carry the weight of the connection all by yourself anymore. When you stop texting and calling, when you stop showing up with energy that isn't being matched, what happens next tells you everything you need to know about a man's true intentions. Because here's the thing, people can fake a lot in the beginning. Charm is easy, consistency is not. It's easy for someone to say the right things when everything's flowing, when you're investing and giving and showing up. But when you pull your energy back, when you stop initiating, stop checking in, stop making it easy, what you're left with is clarity. In that stillness, you stop hearing what he's saying, and you start watching what he's doing. A man who genuinely wants to be in your life will not be comfortable staying silent for long. He'll feel that gap you left, and it'll push him to ask himself real questions. Not just, why isn't she calling me? But did I make her feel valued? Did I match her effort? Have I shown up in a way that would make her want to keep this going? And here's where the real growth happens, either for him or for you, depending on the answer. Some men, when faced with your silence, will rise. They'll reflect. They'll see the break in communication as a signal, not a threat, and their actions will speak volumes. They'll reach out, not just to resume the connection, but to repair it. They'll come forward with honesty and intentionality. You'll feel it, that shift from passivity to presence, that clarity of, I want you in my life, and I'm willing to meet you where you are. That's not a reaction to discomfort. That's a decision. That's the kind of man you can build something real with. But others, they'll disappear. Or worse, they'll reach out just enough to keep you wondering, to keep you emotionally engaged without ever stepping into the kind of effort a real relationship requires. Maybe they'll drop in with a vague message or an I miss you that leads nowhere. They might even act annoyed or cold, as if your silence was the problem instead of a response to theirs. But the truth is, when someone falls off just because you stopped doing all the work, they were never really in it in the first place. They were in it for the convenience, for the attention, for the emotional lift you gave them, not for you. And I get it, that part stings. It's not easy to realize that someone you cared about was more attached to the idea of you than the reality of building something with you. But that sting is necessary, because it protects you from continuing to give to someone who never intended to give back. Your silence, your boundary, your willingness to step back, it doesn't push someone away. It reveals who is actually walking toward you. And this is where a lot of people get stuck. They break the silence too soon, not because they're ready, but because they're afraid. Afraid that the connection will die if they don't keep feeding it. Afraid that silence means finality, but the truth is, the right connection doesn't die in silence, it grows stronger in it. And the wrong one, it fades, and it's supposed to. That silence becomes your clarity. That's the moment you stop chasing and start seeing. Because when someone truly wants you, they don't sit in silence and hope you notice them. They step up, they speak up, they close the distance. And when they don't, when they let you go quiet and never come looking, that tells you exactly where you stand without a single word being said. Silence doesn't make someone lose you, it shows you if they ever truly intended to keep you. Tools.